It's about that time of day again here, boys and girls. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. My name is Joseph James. SidewaysMarkets.com is our trading blog. SchoolOfTrade.com is the web address. Welcome to your nightly newsletter for the 7th day of the 7th month of the year 2014. We made it through the month of June. I've got all 12 of my fingers and toes left over. I should say we made it through the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all you traders out there. Hope you guys had a great long weekend. As you guys know, I've been gone from my desk for a few days here. It feels great to be back. Had a very good day today in the room. A little bit of sloppy price action. Traders taking profit after last Thursday's non-farm payroll report. We'll jump right into that in just a moment, though. Here's what to expect on tonight's newsletter. 3 important things. We're going to first talk about what happened to the market today. Pretty much everything pulled back. Gold still has something, still acting like a stick in the mud here on gold, but crude pulls back to monthly lows. Russell falls from some profit taking off those new all-time highs. Once we're done taking a look at what happened today, we're going to jump into getting ready for tomorrow. I've got some anchor charts ready to go, and I've got strategies for you if price goes up, if price goes down, and if price goes sideways. And then last but not least, we'll make sure we're all prepped up for the news tomorrow. Guys, by the end of the newsletter today, you're going to know exactly what happened today so you can brag to all your buddies. You'll also have a strategy for every scenario that can come our way coming on Tuesday morning. We'll get ready for our news, and you'll be ready to capitalize on whatever this market throws at you on either Monday evening or Tuesday morning. Now, before we jump into the charts here for today, before we go over what happened today, I do want to remind you guys here, if you're watching the video on our YouTube page right now, make sure you get over to SidewaysMarkets.com for 3 specific reasons. There will be a link below the video on the YouTube page. Click that link. Follow us over here to SidewaysMarkets.com for 3 specific reasons. First, right below today's video, you're going to see a link to download today's charts and commentary. So make sure right now you pause the video, get over to Sideways Markets, go below the video on the blog, and double-click on it and download a copy of my charts. That way you have them ready for tomorrow. The second thing is, upper left-hand corner. Maybe you're wondering how we make profit with all of these important price levels. You've seen how well this works every day. Now I have a special free pass, an invitation just for you. Come out and join me in my trade room any afternoon this week. I got a free pass for you, upper left-hand corner. Double-click on that. All I need is your name and your email address, and I'll shoot you over an invitation to come out and see me in the live trade room. Trust me on this, guys. The feedback that I get, this is going to be the best few hours you can spend if you're a brand new trader. Third thing, lower left-hand corner, right above my ugly mug. I need your name and your email address, and I'm going to send you this newsletter every evening like clockwork, Monday through Thursday before 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so 3 things on our blog at Sideways Markets right below the video. Download all the charts for tomorrow. Second thing, take me up on that free pass, guys. You're going to learn more in the 2 hours you spend with me than you will anywhere else on the web. I can pretty much guarantee that. And then third thing, if you want to make sure you never miss another newsletter, remember, we got a bunch of really important information to give you guys here. Make sure you join our nightly newsletter mailing list. That way, you don't have to worry about checking back on the blog or reloading the page. You can just get an email from me once it's all ready to go. All righty? I think we covered it all here, boys and girls. Got your helmet on? We got any leftover fireworks? Anything left over? We still have all our fingers and toes, right? It's always a bit of the side effects of having a good 4th of July weekend. Sometimes we get a little bit overboard here. Let's jump right in. Now, before I go into the charts here for today, I do want to take a brief look at our news here that we have. Today was a relatively uneventful day as far as news went. Now, remember, today, Monday, July 7th, this was what we call Reaction Monday. It's the Monday following non-farm payroll. And boy, the sellers at the highs on the equity markets today, Gold still kind of floundering around. Crude oil pushed off the highs as well. So clearly nothing but sellers in the market today. But I got some good strategies for you in just a few moments, so hold on tight. Getting ready for news tomorrow, though. We have another day in the U.S. without much news. This is pretty typical for the second week of the month. The first week of the month is marked by non-farm payrolls. Now we have the second week of the month, right? You can see up top here. First week, second week now of the month of July. And remember, we're not going to worry about summertime slowdown until mid-August as far as I'm concerned. So just because it's the month of July, don't believe everything you see on television. We still have plenty of time here this summer before we have to start worrying about the old doldrums. Last few weeks in August, I'll keep you guys updated on that as we go. Looking at news, though, no major news here for us this evening. So nothing coming out of Asia, nothing coming out of London until we hit 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, if you're a London-based trader, you have a wealth of opportunities here. 2 o'clock, 2:45, 3:15, Red Star at 3:15, and then 4:30 industrial production. You've got yourself plenty of opportunities coming out tomorrow morning in the London trading session. So be ready for that. Second thing here now is we got a little bit of the small business optimism, not that important. We got the same store sales, maybe. I don't think we're going to deal with that much. But really the only major news we have tomorrow in the U.S. is going to be our JOLTS report. Who are you calling a jolt, huh? Remember, this is my gal Jenny Yellen. This is her favorite news report, right? The job openings and layoffs report. We're going to be expecting, especially after non-farm payrolls last Friday, look for this number to be a big deal tomorrow morning. So 10 a.m., we should always be looking for moves around 10 a.m. anyways, right? It's notorious for being a very active time of the day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we would normally be looking for opportunities at 10 a.m., but starting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., though, we have that JOLTS report. And again, because last Thursday, I know, usually it's last Friday, non-farm payrolls. There was a holiday last Friday. So last Thursday was non-farm payrolls, which means that 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, the JOLTS report, I can definitely see if people are going to be trying to read between the lines as far as what they got last Thursday on non-farm payrolls, because it was a huge report last Thursday morning at 8:30. Moving forward here, towards the end of the day tomorrow, we'll talk more about this tomorrow evening in tomorrow's newsletter. We have news at 9:30, right, coming out of China, Consumer Price Index. This is a big deal, right? News out of China, Red Star news out of China, always going to be a big deal. Finally, on Wednesday, we're going to get some more important news here in the U.S. We got inventories and we got the FOMC meeting minutes. So hold on tight for the Red Star news in the U.S., but keep an eye out tomorrow morning. If you're in Europe, you've got some great action coming your way tomorrow morning. If you're in the U.S., stay patient if things are slow and sloppy out there. Again, remember, the first few days after non-farm payroll Friday, usually going to be a bit of reactionary, right? We called it the Reaction Monday. That was exactly what happened today. So stay patient tomorrow morning. We got big news at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and then, of course, Red Star news out of our good friends from China at 9:30 tomorrow night, which we'll talk more about at that time. That's your news on the schedule here for tonight, tomorrow morning, into tomorrow afternoon, and tomorrow evening. Now, you might want to get the kids out of the room for this chart. This chart looks disgusting. You've got nothing here very exciting here on gold. Here's my daily chart on gold. We are still stuck in the mud here on gold. Clearly, gold traders were not affected by that non-farm payroll number. Clearly, there are some perma bears out there that are drinking the old Kool-Aid a little bit right now. There's not many reasons why this gold should be propped up. In fact, if you've been watching my newsletter for the past few weeks, you've heard me say on many instances, somebody needs to put a boot in the rear end of this gold market and get this thing moving. You can see right now my notes here on the lower left hand of the chart here. Stuck at the highs of the bear channel, right? We're stuck up here at the highs. We're stuck inside this trigger zone here at 35.4 to 17.2. I've got additional resistance overhead at 61.2. I get this big cluster of support down here at 12.95. And then, of course, we go down to 12.87. really difficult with this type of price action. You can see, though, we have a bit of a possible head and shoulders forming in here. If you kind of read between the candlesticks there. So my gut tells me that if nothing interrupts this, we eventually collapse. But you probably remember me saying that a few weeks ago too. So it's apparently taking its time right now on the gold. Now clearly we have this range-bound market. If we zoom in on this area now, we begin to find some trading opportunities here on that funny yellow metal. Here is my now tradable chart. Now remember, boys and girls, this is a daily chart that I showed you first. You're not going to trade off this daily chart unless you are a swing trader. Even a position trader really wouldn't use a daily chart. They would use weeklies and monthly charts. But on a daily chart, this gives me a good bird's eye view. It gives you the ability, because you can get a daily chart on any charting platform around the world. I can get free ones off stockcharts.com. So there's a lot of different ways in which you can replicate this on your own if you're not a member of mine, right? So daily chart, you're not going to trade off this. What you're going to do is you're going to use that as just an idea of where we are, right? The bird's eye view. Gives me an idea of what's been going on. Now, this chart is definitely my favorite anchor chart right now. Now, things change all the time, and I hate to break this to you, but if you want to be successful at anything in this life, the only consistency we see in business is change. So we are always adapting to the current market personality. Over the last few weeks, though, we've seen the best, I want to say, most consistent opportunities coming in off our 32 anchor here. Now remember, this is going to tell me direction. This is going to tell me where to be looking for trading opportunities. But how do I get into the patterns? I come into my trade room tomorrow, and we're going to find those patterns. What I need three things. I need trend, I need a setup, and then I need an entry trigger. Right now, we have a very slightly bullish trend here on the gold, as you can see here. We've got a range-bound market. We've got sideways, right? It's difficult to say we're bullish right now, but we do have a prior higher high. We got a prior higher low. I was tempted to draw in a channel here, but it's not much of a channel. If I go in and draw the channel using the highs right now, you can see it's really a little bit difficult here to make it work, right? If I zoom out a little bit further, that might be a decent looking channel there, but still, all the same though, it is for the most part sideways with a little taste of bullishness here. And again, I really can't tell why this thing is so bullish right now. There are lots of rumors out there about hedges that are being unwound right now in China. I tend not to get too wrapped up in this. I don't want to worry about why things are happening so much, because, knowing why things are happening doesn't really make us any money, does it? Right? It might make me impress my buddies at happy hour this afternoon, but it's not going to make me more successful as a trader. Rather than worrying about why, I'm worrying about when and where. What's my trend? My trend is almost bearish. You can see here that we're still caught up in this long-term cloud, right? We still have the long-term cloud that's green, so we still are going to be on the bull side, even though we did make that higher high and then collapsed right back down into it. But as far as I can see right now, we are still looking for the buys right now here on the gold. One thing I'm looking at right now, though, is buying at a discount. I've got buy zones here at 1311.7, 1308.8. I have an area here at 1305.4. That's the low of that little range there. If we can get below 1305.4, that's going to be your spot now to start looking for a short. I've got targets below me. If I can get short below 1305.4, I got 96.5 and 87.5. Those will be the big targets for me. Again, if I can get into a short here below that 1305.4. I am not somebody who just closes my eyes and hits the sell button. I'm always going to wait for an entry pattern to get me into that trade. As you can see right now, though, we are right inside of this buy zone here down at the bottom. So we have the green light here to be buying here on gold. I got targets above me at 32 even and 29.4. Now, one thing, though, here, you'll notice the level here at 34.9. I am definitely going to be looking for a fake out breakout, right? The term would be FOBO, or fake out breakout. The reason I say that The reason I say that is because if you look back at the daily chart here, you can see here, we've really just shown how difficult it's been for those buyers to really get this price moving higher. At the top of the channel, if I had to guess right now, I would say they try to make those new higher highs. And if they blow right through it, sure, I'll be looking for buying opportunities there above the 34.9. But what I want you to do is just be careful here trying to force that move higher above that 34.9. You've got that trend line overhead, and couldn't you see that easily just jumping up, then pulling back, and then giving you a brilliant buy here down at those lows again? Right, so let's not worry too much about buying at the high. Let's buy at a discount, right? Let's not force the trades buying at premiums. Let's look at buying at a discount. So right now, slightly bullish here on gold. I want to buy those lows, take profit at the highs, sell those highs, take profit at the lows. Obviously, though, with that bullish sentiment, though, we will be leaning towards the buy side here on gold. And if you want more updated information, if you want exact entry points on this stuff and updated chart analysis, come out and see me tomorrow morning in the trade room at 8 o'clock, and we'll give you guys the rundown as we see it tomorrow morning. Now, talk about profit taking at those highs. Wow. On the mighty mini Russell. By far my favorite of the equity indexes right now, my favorite E-mini. A close second will be the NASDAQ right now for its wide ranges we've been seeing. As you know, though, or maybe you don't know, last week, non-farm payrolls, we got that new, fresh all-time highs. What I did was I connected the previous all-time high with the new all-time high and kind of created this little sell zone here. Okay, you got to be aware. All-time highs make for very difficult scenarios here. Difficult to buy the all-time highs. Difficult to sell the all-time highs sometimes, right? You can see here, it actually rolled around up top here before collapsing here today, taking the direction from the European equities in the overnight trading session. So we came in this morning expecting this price to pull back a little bit, but it never stopped. So we're still looking for that next buying opportunity right now. I've got symmetry at 1179, and then we got 71.5 as additional support. Looking at the Russell daily chart, profit taking, very clear profit taking at the all-time highs. I don't blame you for taking profit at the all-time highs, right? Very smart move. We have support here now at the low of this bull channel. We have support here now at the symmetry at 79 even, and of course at the low here at 71.5 of that buy zone. Keep in mind the next stop here going lower is 1160. So we got over 100 ticks of range there between that 71.5 down to that 60.8. There's a big drop there. It may not seem like very much in this daily chart, but this is going to be a good idea of what happened today and where we're looking at the major levels for the future. You know me, though. I'm pretty bullish these equity markets right now. And every time, just like last week my exact words were, we pulled back, get ready for fresh all-time highs, and that's exactly what happened. We've been hitting this thing out the park on the newsletter. There's no reason for us to think this is a major reversal yet. There's no fundamentals. There's no technical reasons why this should be a full-blown reversal. We have no reason to think this is not going to be a pullback in the long-term trend. Remember, everybody knows you make new highs, you take your profit, price pulls back, buyers enter again, and they know there's a good chance we can go right back to where we came from here. So I'm looking to buy this area here, 1179 down to 1171. That's a big range, again, 1179 to 71.5. So that's a very wide range, which means we still have some room for this price to keep coming down here on the old Rusty. Don't forget, you can always download all these charts and have them ready for your trading day tomorrow by following that link below the video. As you can see here now, we're right where we thought we were. We pulled all the way back. We tried to make that second push higher here. This is, of course, late last week, and then we came in this morning. We were thinking, okay, we're going to pull back here this morning. We thought, well, we'll get one more shot up here, but clearly everybody taking profit. They must have spent too much money over the weekend, right, on their 4th of July holiday. So we can look at this and say, okay, we're going to sell off the highs, but look, this should not be triggering the red alert here, guys, because look what's happened before. Remember this from last week? Does anybody recall this from last week? Yeah, remember this? All the news media was saying the sky is falling, the run is over. Yeah, right. I'll leave my opinions to myself in the news media. You already know how I feel about that. The fear mongering is ridiculous right now. So what I'm thinking is once again, nice pullback here at a great discounted price. This looks like a great spot here looking for buying opportunities. What I need though is I need three things. What are those three things? I need a trend. Trend is up. I need a setup. My setup right now, I've got a trigger zone setup and I have a symmetry setup right here at this 1183 and 1177. So we have a setup that's ready to go. Now all I need is what? An entry pattern, a trigger, which means once I get this price start making its high here now, once I start seeing these buyers getting on the bid, once we see the buyers stepping in, that's when you know. Trend is bullish. Setup is at support. We are at the perfect spot here for that setup. Keep in mind, this may go lower before it goes higher. The best opportunities are going to be the buy side here in the long term. In the short term, though, yeah, you might be able to get some scalps going lower here right now, but I've got support, I got a trend line, I got a channel low, I've got symmetry. If you're looking for the easiest money you can make right now, be careful on the short side right now because of all the support levels we have below us. There will be opportunity to get short here, but that opportunity will be lower percentage than the ones we're going to get if we wait patiently and get the buy. You got to take my word for on this one. We've shown you guys many, many times, month after month after month, beware the initial knee-jerk reaction. Okay, think about where this is likely headed to, and we know we just made fresh all-time highs. We get some profit taking here. I am still long-term bullish here right now, but like I said, I've got to wait here for this to make the turn and then start to push its prices higher. Alrighty, that's my Russell here going into tomorrow. Now, last but not least here, on the black gold, we are at monthly lows right now on crude. So apparently this whole little shindig out in Iraq, apparently it wasn't as bad as they thought. So apparently it wasn't the end of the world. You mean it wasn't different this time? Oh boy, I feel really embarrassed. I got all those barrels of crude oil in my basement right now. I gotta figure out what to do with those things. Maybe make some coffee tables or something like that. We'll see what the wife lets me do. All joking aside, right? All kidding aside, the world was not coming to an end. Now you know the next time the news media tries to pull one over on you, you know to check the chart. Don't check the television. All right? The chart tells you the truth. Nobody lies to you when they take their money out of their pocket and put it in the market. What you need to be concerned with is trusting anything that has advertising. It's one of the biggest reasons why I have no ads on my blog, because I truly believe I've got one master, right? And that is my students. That is my clients. I can't have one master be students and one master be the advertisers too. It's a conflict of interest. So don't trust what you see when there's advertising, all right? They do not have your best interest in mind. They're trying to scare you. Now that we know the world is still spinning, now that we know the sun still comes up every day, what's my plan here? Looks to me like we have price that came right off those highs, right? We'll call these the Operation Fear-Mongering highs, right? The ISIS highs, if you will. What a joke, right? But the reality is now we've already seen we can go to 107.45, no problem. Now we're here at a pullback at a discounted price. You got to still be bullish right now, long term, right? We got to still be bullish. They haven't cleaned up this mess in Iraq yet. We know that every 72 hours we're going to find something else to talk about there. So we know that this has all the likelihood of going right back up again. I'm not going to say we're going to collapse here. We're not going to see $75 a barrel tomorrow morning. But it does look like right now, though, we are in a great spot. So first of all, what's my trend? It's bullish. Higher highs, higher lows, green cloud, both green clouds. What's my setup? Trigger zone setup, channel setup, symmetry setup. Where's my pattern? That's the next step. Now all I need is to see this price start to go higher, and I'm looking for those entry patterns, right, to get back to the upside. Let's keep moving, though, because, again, that's going to be a daily chart. This is going to be a very slow time frame. Let's figure out now, where are we going to be looking for buying opportunities, selling opportunities. What are our options right now? We know we have the daily chart telling us we pulled all the way back. But right now, though, I go to my anchor chart here, and I see nothing but reasons to be selling short. On the faster time frame for the anchor chart here, I've got us going all the way down to that 101.10, right? That's where we started this process almost a month ago. If you look at the date stamp on this, you've got June 5th, right? So we are right back to where we came from here. Do I hear $100 a barrel, anybody? Now let's think about this for a second. If I'm going to be looking at the daily chart here, I've got 102.46, 101.82, and 101.10. Could those be used as profit targets? Absolutely. So look for these to be profit targets. 102.46, 101.82, 101.10. Those make for great targets on the way down here, kiddos. And where am I going to sell short? Well, I'm glad you asked. Where are we right now? First of all, I'm at a discount. I see my short-term trend is down. I'll follow that trend, and I'll follow this by selling short as well. The problem is, though, is I want to look for selling opportunities, but we know we're priced at a discount. I don't like to sell things at a discount. Neither would you. Would you sell your home when the prices were at the yearly lows? No, you wouldn't. You would choose to sell your home if the real estate prices were at the yearly highs. We're not there right now. So what I'm looking to do is I'm going to look for price to get back up into this area here so I can then look for a short. Same thing here at 105.04, looking for a short. And then again, I'm going to use the levels off my daily chart because that's what's going to give me the easy targets starting down here at that 102.50, right? Remember, off the daily chart. So use those levels I gave you off the daily chart. We're going lower here in the short-term trend. Remember, long-term trend, don't be surprised. We come all the way down and then start making a move back higher again. But I think you're going to be able to find some good selling opportunities here on the crude oil in the meantime. So downward trend, I'm at a discounted price. I want to wait for price to get up to that 104.37. I've got 104.60. I've got 104.65. These are easy areas to look for selling opportunities. I've got 105.04, 105.28, and then last call here will be 105.55. If we break above 105.55, we are officially back on the bull train once again, and we're going back to that 107.50. Once again, don't forget, these are going to be general direction and general areas for tomorrow. If you want real-time updates, if you want to see what I'm doing in real time with exact entries, exact exits, I use limit orders. I call them ahead of time. If you want to trade right along with me tomorrow morning, what are you waiting for? You already know this methodology works. If you've watched this newsletter for more than a few minutes, you already know this stuff works. So come out and see me tomorrow morning in my trade room. Join the free pass. And don't forget, guys, we offer more as part of our free trial here at School of Trade than most other websites are going to charge you thousands of dollars for. So get over to SchoolOfTrade.com, join the free trial, check out our beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels of membership. Guys, you're going to learn more with me than anywhere else on the web, and I'll prove it to you. Join the free trial. Take me up on my free pass offer on the blog at Sideways Markets, and we'll see you guys tomorrow in the trade room. Alrighty, signing off now from our corporate headquarters in Los Angeles, California. Have a great afternoon, a great evening. Be safe out there tomorrow. Be ready for that news in London, in US. And don't forget to come see me in the trade room if you need any help in between. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.